So basically my name is, that's my name. Well, nowadays you don't talk about your name, you give it with the handle. You can add me at Marlon. And then I'm basically just going to talk a little bit about the Kukua Fund, which is one of the projects that we basically did at RLabs. To give you a little bit of background about what RLabs is. RLabs is a living lab that very much focuses around using technology, innovation to bring about social change, but very specifically at a very community level. So what we try and do is we really try and look at what are the biggest challenges or the problems in the community, and from there we try and see how technology can be used to solve those problems. I asked a question last night when I was at another house. Do you have any problems in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania? Any problems in Tanzania? No problems in Tanzania. Okay, so I guess there's no need for me to say anything further. Oh, there's one problem. And I'm not talking about your girlfriend, I mean like, does Tanzania have problems? Any problems, social problems?
On my side, I can do a lot of problems. A lot of problems in technology, especially technology.
But what's one of the big social problems in communities?
Maybe I can say there is a lot of them. One is maybe transferring of funds.
Is that the community problem? Transferring of funds?
Transactions.
So,
in some ways. There are some ways when you are in other side of you can say all of things, there are no some problems. But in some ways, there are some problems, especially in the communities, where we see the users of information system, what the problem they get, and those are the things that I think we should solve them. Or I hope we are here to try to solve them.
okay. The other problem that I was thinking about is, are there problems with youth unemployment? No. No problem with unemployment. Everybody's got a job. Excellent. I'm glad that all of you sitting around got a job. Are there any other challenges? Are there problems with abuse? No, not in Tanzania. Agriculture problems. People, transportation. Is there any problem with water, clean water, access to clean water? No? Yes, there's one problem. So all of these things are issues and challenges that the people sitting in this room can actually do something about. And really what RLabs was about, it came about trying to address those kind of real problems that people are dealing with. Yes, we're going to have challenges as entrepreneurs. And just quickly, how many of you in this room currently run a business? Or you have a startup, technology business? They start with technology businesses. Only the one hand. How many of you aspire to have a business? You want to have a business soon? Okay, there's more hands. And the rest of you? You're studying. Studying is a business, isn't it? You know that? How many of you are studying? Okay, so most of you are studying. And the rest of us in this room is just here. Okay, that's good. Anything else that anybody else does that I need to know of? If you're not studying, if you're not running a business, what was the other thing? What do you do? You're not studying, you're not running a business?
Yes.
Are you a developer?
Yes.
You do coding? No?
Yes.
You do with coding, okay.
I would like to welcome you to Tanzania, but there's a portion you have to bring my own electricity.
Own electricity. I have to bring my own electricity. Is that the big problem?
Yeah, that's the big problem right now.
Okay. How many of you agree that electricity is a problem? Okay. Much more hands going up. Excellent. So whenever there's all these problems, it means there's a lot of opportunities, isn't it? And basically the Kukua Fund, Kukua is a Swahili word, I think. Maybe I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. What does the word mean? To grow. There we go. I can't speak Swahili, but I'm in love with the language. there's two languages that's my favorite languages in the world. It's Swahili and French. And I can't speak either of them. The reason being, because if I understand what it is and people are cursing or they're rude at me, then I'm going to be angry. So someone can be rude at me in French or Swahili and I'll just smile and say, yes. So I love those languages. But the Kukua Fund, the goal is really to, and that's really what I want to talk about. It's a partnership between RLabs and an organization called the Bertha Foundation. And we basically are looking for entrepreneurs or people that's got ideas specifically geared towards mobile and internet technology. So the key thing about the Kukua Fund, and this is one of the things that you need to know, is we're actually looking for startups or ideas that has got a social impact angle. In other words, if anybody that's got an idea to do something in education, if it's to help, be it schools or be it to help health professionals, these are the kind of ideas that we are looking for, right? But also, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the perfect product. It can be at a very early stage. In other words, it means that maybe it's still something that you're experimenting with, but you think, or you know at least there is a market for it. So that is one of the key things that we're looking for, right? We are looking for people or teams of people who's got ideas, technology ideas, that can basically make a social difference. Okay, that's the first thing that you have to do. Please stop me at any time, eh? Or if you don't understand my funny accent, just raise your hand and say, can I say that again? I will gladly do that. The reason why we specifically started the Kukua Fund was because of the following. I mean, how many of you have ever started or tried looking for money? Have any of you ever tried getting money or access to funding? Anyone? Okay. Is it easy? Why is it not easy? What is one of the big challenges? What's one of the big challenges? Can you just go into a bank and tell the bank, I've got this idea. Can you please give me money? Or do banks give you money like that? No, they don't. I don't know, how many of you use Facebook? Don't be ashamed, it's okay, it's fine. Yes, okay. Now imagine, there's this guy called Mark, right? What's the name of the Facebook founder's name? Mark Zuckerberg, there we go. So imagine, here's this guy, right? He's basically at university. He walks into a bank with his sandals, his shorts and his t-shirt, and he says, hey, I've got this idea that I want to connect students. Don't you want to give me a loan? What would the bank's reaction have been to Mark Zuckerberg? They would think this boy is crazy. They would ask him, do you have any collateral, isn't it? No? The banks just want to know, do you have anyone that's going to stand surety for you? Or security? I mean, he's a student. And we know what happened with the story of Facebook, don't we? But it meant that he needed to get some other type of funding. Right? And of course, he got access to angel funding, angel investment, and seed funding, which basically allowed him to build this thing called Facebook, which people all over the world is using, even in Tanzania. Right? So, one of the key things as being an entrepreneur, the biggest challenge is having access to funding. What other options do you have if you don't go to a bank? Who else can give you money? Right? Your uncle? Yes, if you have a... What's your uncle's name, please? Yeah? So his uncle can give you money. Alright? So we will write the name and the number of his uncle on the board for you later. But basically family members, isn't it? Family members, if they believe it. Again, it's not very easy to, when you try and tell them, hey, I've got this idea, you know, you can... There's a cell phone app, a mobile app, it's called Android. I mean, firstly, you have to explain what does the word Android mean. They think you're swearing at them, isn't it? And now you have to try and explain to them, no, thousands of people, or maybe millions of people, is actually going to use my app. And of course, they're going to look at you and try and say, what on earth is wrong with you? Didn't you go and study to do something? You know, and because now you're talking about an app, you're talking about business. So, but family is another option to give you money. Right? Family or his rich uncle. Okay? That also, of course, includes friends. If you have very wealthy or rich friends, they can also give you money. Who else do you think can give you funding?
Friends. Friends.
Your friends, yes? Friends are very good at giving you money. Any of you ever borrowed money to anyone before? To a friend? How many of you ever borrowed money to a friend? I'm not saying that you've borrowed from friends. I mean, you've given a friend money. You've borrowed to a friend. How many of you ever had your friend pay you back? Not always, eh? I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand if you borrowed money and you didn't pay it back. We won't talk about that now. But again, these are some of the other avenues. Who else can give us money? Access to funding for a business, a startup. Anyone else? Or other than your family, your friends, his rich uncle, the bank, who else can potentially give us funding?
Investors.
Investors. Now, of course, I mean, you get different types of investors. You get what they call an angel investor. You know what an angel investor is? Anyone? No? What's an angel investor? Kukua. Kukua is not angel. Not angel. Angel investor is basically someone that comes in very early in your business or your idea. They like what you're doing. And in most cases will actually be individuals that would actually give and invest some money into your business. Right? And what they basically want is they would, in some cases, they would say, you know what, we just want a small bit of equity. We all understand we use the word equity. They want shares in your business, a small bit of shares. Because one of the big challenges that we find, especially amongst African entrepreneurs, now I can speak as an African, is we always want to own 100% of everything. Isn't it? We must own everything. We don't like sharing. And so we rather want to have 100% of an idea than have 51% of a big business. And that's one of the challenges. Whereas an angel investor will come in and say, listen, why don't you give me 5 or 10% of your business? Then I'll give you a little investment. And of course we're like, oh no. I must have 100%. I don't want to give 5 or 10% away. But an angel investor is someone that comes in and they're not really that strict about their returns. It means they don't really want all their money back by the end of the year. Or they're not like your friend that's going to come and beat you up, they want their payback. Right? The other type of investors are also what we call seed investors. Right? Seed investors are those that give amounts that's slightly bigger than angel. Or sometimes people actually kind of mix the two up. But they basically coming in very early before you really have worked on your business model. And what Kukua Fund is really what we call an early stage seed fund. So it's an early seed fund. It's before you even get to your seed funds. Right? And then of course the other kind of investors are your venture capitalists. VCs are basically the guys that gives you the big money. It's when you go and visit them and you tell them, if you tell them that you basically want $10,000, they would tell you, don't come and talk to us. Most of them most probably would come in at about, you was probably looking at about $3-4 million upwards. That's typically a VC number. In Africa, VCs most probably would come in at about $1 million. And these numbers varies depending on the type of VCs that we're talking about. So, what Kukua Fund is looking at, Kukua Fund realizes that entrepreneurs like yourself, or entrepreneurs to be, struggles to find early stage investment. Right? Here's the other option, of course, is like the Innovation Fund, which is a grant fund based on your milestones, and other grants, which means you don't really, it's not about the payback as such, but it's about you actually delivering on the goods. That is very important. So Kukua Fund is basically looking into how can we begin to address that need of entrepreneurs like yourselves who's looking for access to funding. Okay? And unfortunately, or fortunately, what we do is we actually take one's shares in the business. That's what we want. So in exchange for money and our expertise and our networks and everything else, we basically ask for equity in your business. So please do stop me at any time. Right? So some of the other things that we also realize is that a lot of investors don't really understand Africa. That's one of the big challenges, isn't it? A lot of the investors that come into Africa don't understand the context. And for Kukua Fund, we're an African fund that started by Africans for Africans. Right? So we understand the context. A lot of the people that we work with has done a lot of work across the continent. And that for us is very important. So we know about the challenges of electricity. We know the challenges when it comes to banking or getting the funds transferred or those kind of things. We understand, we know those things. We've been through all of those kind of activities. And that's another key thing. Because we don't expect that you need to now, within the next 6 months, your business must be profitable. And then put heavy demands on your business. We understand that you need some time. But the key thing for us is we want to ensure that we have successful technology social entrepreneurs in Africa. So I spoke in the Living Lab, based in Cape Town, but currently have activities now in 19 countries. We also do a lot of work with TanzICT in Tanzania. But we also have the ability that if you have an idea and a business idea, that's great, that has other market potential, that we could potentially take it into at least 19 other countries for you. We can do that, right? We have the networks and the means to do it. Bertha Foundation is an organization or foundation that was started by a company that basically a guy made a lot of money of pharmaceutical, right? Medicine and all those kind of things, generic drugs, as we know. And now they're basically flying back into Africa. And they are also people from the continent. So, who are the kind of people that Kukua is specifically looking for? We're looking for social entrepreneurs specifically, right? And again, the idea doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not going to ask you to write a heavy business plan. To be honest, the Kukua Fund document is a one-page document that you have to fill in for funding. Only one page. Right? Sorry, that's my stomach, okay? You must just forgive me. Just tell them I'm not available. So what we are looking for, we're looking for people that's got ideas, who's got business ideas or businesses, that's currently dealing with some kind of situation, but at the same time, you should be able to also be sustainable. We're looking for a business it's a business that deals with social impact. And it's okay for you to be different. You don't have to be like everybody else. That's the one thing. You don't have to be the next Mark Zuckerberg or the next Steve Jobs. You know, you're allowed to be different. And you are looking for those people that are crazy thinkers. Those that everybody else will tell you, why on earth are you wasting your time? Those are the kind of people we're looking for. People that everybody else thought, it's crazy. It's good to be the green jelly baby sometimes. Right? And we want to scale and grow your social enterprise. Like I said, I don't know how you can make bread. No. You can make bread, okay. So, your technologies that you have, and it's not just about the technology, we want to grow into a sustainable company. That's very important for us. We're looking for ideas, for businesses that we want to invest in, that we know that we can scale. We want to grow. It's not just going to be for Tanzania. If you're building something just with the Tanzanian market in mind, then it's not. It might for now be for Tanzania, but we are looking at taking it, working with you to take your business beyond just Tanzania. Alright? So it has to be innovative. And of course there has to be technology driven. So if any of the guys want to open a barber or a hairdresser, unfortunately we can't fund that. Unless you have a creative and innovative way of how to use technology, that you just send them an SMS and then your hair is cut. No, that is different. Alright? That is quite different. Then perhaps we will look into it. But like I said, we are looking at investing and seeing how you can grow further. You also, as an entrepreneur, you need to have a clear value proposition. You know what we mean by value proposition? What do you think we mean by value? There we go.
A product of your business, that's value proposition.
Yeah, your product, there's a difference between product and value. Right? There's a difference between product and value. What is a car? Is a car a product? A car might be the product. But what's the value of having a car? What's the value of having a car? Anybody? Why would anybody want to have a car? It takes you from point A to B. There's convenience. Isn't convenience a value? So always remember there's a difference between product and value proposition. Okay? Your mobile phone might be a product for Nokia, right? But the value proposition of your mobile phone is, what does it do? It allows you to stay connected. It allows you to check up on Facebook. It allows you to do all kinds of other things. So what we are looking for entrepreneurs that knows and understands the value proposition. Because if you understand what your value proposition is, then you would know who your target markets are. Okay? And you can't tell me that your target market or your target audience is everyone, all Tanzanians. That's not good enough. You know? If someone asks you, hey, so who's your product geared for? All schools in Tanzania. Not good enough. Right? You need to be very specific. What type of school? And that's what we're looking for. And at the same time, we want to work with you on a strategy to full commercialization of your business. We want you to be the next success story for us. Alright. We're also looking for, and please listen to this, we're looking for entrepreneurs who can move fast and seize the market opportunity. We don't want you to say, okay, you need 12 months to first do your research, and then another 12 months to start building. If any of you have been building and working on a technology for the last 12 months and you have not taken it to the market yet, then your business will be in trouble. Okay? You will be in trouble. You have to take your product out there as quickly as possible. If you have an idea and we're actually looking for you to take your business and your product to market at least within the space of 3 to 6 months. That should basically be your kind of your target market. Because you're only going to know if your product is useful once it has been to the hands of a client. So that you can learn and you can make changes to it. So we're looking for people that's willing to move fast, right, and seize the opportunity. And of course, from a financial perspective, Kukua Fund is very early stage. So we basically do initial investments of up to $25,000 US. And once you've proven that you can use the money and you've done what you said you're going to do, we then potentially open up opportunities for further funding. Our Bertha partner, they do large investments of up to $200,000 US. And if that is still not enough, then we will bring on more bigger players that can do investments of up to $1 million US. So the opportunity for scale is there. We're very early stage. We basically are looking for, like I said, those diamonds in the rough. Right? Because you know diamonds do come from the rough. Right? So that's what we're looking for. You also will have access to our partnerships and our networks. It's not just, okay, you're going to get money. But like I said, if for example, you are building something where you need specific strategic partners, we are by means and able to bring certain partners to your door. Something that, this is probably where the biggest value is than the money. I always tell entrepreneurs, I say, don't be so quick just to go and take money. It's not about the money, it's more about the partnerships and the networks. That is where your biggest value lies. And this, I think, will be a big value add to you as an entrepreneur. And of course, we are looking for returns, right? But it's not just about financial returns. Our biggest returns is actually more around the social impact your product or your value proposition will have. And also for you to remember that we will create other opportunities where you can access larger amounts of funding. But the big thing for us is we are looking for stories of Tanzania. That's what we want. We want people that when they're looking for the next big social innovation or social entrepreneur, people must think Tanzania. They must think Tanzania. When they're talking about the next amazing mobile technology innovation that's going to come, they must think Tanzania. Not Finland, not Silicon Valley, not even South Africa. We want them to think Tanzania. Because I believe it's been too long where people have ignored Tanzania and the opportunity that lies in Tanzania. And it can only happen if you are willing to take up that stand. Because you are the ones that can innovate, right? We want to see an explosion of social entrepreneurs. And basically that's a little bit just about the Kukua Fund. I'm quite happy to answer any questions. If there's anything you want to know specifically. I do know that some of you that indicated that you want to see me one-on-one, you've made appointments, which I'll gladly have a quick chat with you as well, so you can share about your business. But is there any questions just from a broad audience perspective?
One of the questions is that, you talked about all those like people who can give you money. And you say Kukua is for a person who's like in a very early stage, maybe in an idea stage. And then you talked about like, you have to have very like specific markets, very specific. Like you're starting to go like into specifics, but like the person who's not even started yet, like how is he gonna be able to like know even like markets and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's not quite idea. It's a bit further than idea. It's most probably someone who's about to start their product development, or who's got a clear understanding of what they're going to do, who their markets are already. So it's that. It's not early in the sense where you just kind of like woke up now. Okay, I've got an idea. It's more a refined and developed concept. You might not have, what I meant was you might not have the product or the prototype yet. That's fine. We're hoping that with the support that we give you, that you can build your prototype. But that's more or less, and thanks for asking that question. That's what it is. The question as well?
What if the business results in the total loss? I mean,
What is that?
the business, I established the business, but it resulted into a total loss. I didn't make any profit, so maybe I won't be able to pay back the money for that.
What happened then?
Yeah.
Then I come and visit you. Then it's fine.
It's fine.
We will work and make sure that we don't go and run a loss. But of course, if you're going to take the money and you're going to spend it on your girlfriend, that's a bit of a different, that's a different goal there. Okay? But yeah, if people don't be scared of failure, please, I mean, we can talk for hours just about failure. Personally, I've started lots of businesses and many of them have failed. So don't be ashamed or scared that your business will fail. It's purely part of the learning experience, as they say.
I've been a little bit late. What sort of products are you up to? Mobile applications?
Yeah, we looking specifically for mobile / internet, so it's not hardware specific stuff. So in other words, if it's a mobile application and you know how you're going to generate, you can think about how you can potentially grow a business out of it. That's fine. If you have a web-based system that you think potentially does social good, but at the same time there's an opportunity to scale it beyond just Tanzania, then those are the type of things that we're interested in. So it's a mixture. It can be either consumer or enterprise. Consumer meaning it's for anybody that can use the product. Enterprise meaning you need to go and sell to businesses or to universities. Or those are the enterprise ones are obviously the more difficult ones. But we do both. But it has to be mobile internet, and it needs to have some kind of social element into it. But again, if there's one thing that I could maybe just want to encourage you with quickly, and this will be my closing, is as entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs to be, please, whenever you come up with anything, or if you're looking at starting a business, please do something that serves a real need. You don't have to try and build the next Facebook or the next Google. Let them be. There is a Facebook and there is a Google. But there's a lot of challenges that happens in Tanzania, and people are looking for solutions. And you are the ones that can potentially create those solutions. So I would want to encourage you to please think of real needs. Right? For example, if it is, we said the thing about electricity or water, and how can you use mobile technology to inform people. These are all things that is very interesting, that has the potential to be commercialized. So think of these kind of things. Right? The second thing, maybe just to leave you with, is that please don't ever let failure or the fear of failure be the reason for not starting on your idea. Don't let being scared be the reason. And don't use the excuse that I'm studying. That's why you're not doing anything yet. It's the best way to do it. Because you can still study and you can still start something on the side. I would want to encourage, especially the students, start a business. Imagine if Mark Zuckerberg decided his first in the wait before he starts something. Until he has years of experience. If you're busy studying, that's the best time to start something. Because if you fail, you always have your studies to go back to. Not saying you must leave your studies, please. Just say you can do it on the side. Alright. So from my side, that is all that I wanted to share. And I'm hoping that if there's people that's interested about the Kukua Fund, I know there's 4 hands who book time, and then after that, if anybody else wants to see me as well, I'm quite happy to talk to you about it. And yeah, wish you all a good afternoon and thank you for listening.